Yeah, I didn't want to monetize that video anyway. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and I hope you're doing fine. Today we're gonna have another development update about Beautiful Light. Now, in case you missed the previous ones, don't forget there's a whole playlist covering everything that happened over the last couple of months and years. Now, before we start, a little bit of a bummer at the beginning, but I want to get that out of the way, and I know you guys will mention it in the comment section. Yes, the early access release date got postponed to, well, instead of Q4 2025 to December 2026. Have to admit, that's a little bit of a bummer, but honestly, let them cook. Nowadays, in the gaming scene, you don't get a lot of chances. So your first early access must impress people, because if that one disappoints, it's really difficult to come back from that. With that being said, we have a lot of interesting topics today. As always, timestamps in the description below, you can see them right here. And in case you're only interested in very specific topics, you can jump straight to them. And with that, I would say we check them out. Okay, so I would say we start with the interesting stuff first, and that's gonna be new monster. And honestly, they showed already a little bit in the Discord, because you can see it sitting there on the wall. And it is pretty big, first of all. That is pretty big for a goddamn spider. Even Australia would be impressed, if I dare say so. But now we also have like the fully rendered picture. That would be this one right here. And yeah, I don't know WTF what is going on over there, but whoever is designing these monsters, you have my respect, but also I'm concerned about you. Just keep in mind that this will not be an anomaly. An anomaly, those are the monsters that can be controlled by players. So this one will only be controlled by AI, which I personally think is nice, because I thought at the beginning they will have only the regular AI dudes and that's it. Spicing it up a little bit with these things right there, yeah, that's not gonna be a frightening experience at all. Keep in mind there will be a nighttime setting as well. And they might be on the ceiling in random houses. Yeah. So when I get scared, I make a very high-pitched scream, so better get used to that when you watch my stream when I play the game, because that will probably happen a lot. So they are currently looking for a name for that thing, and they dropped also that in their Discord and are looking for names. And yeah, let's check them out real quick. And one of the most upvoted, well, names for that thing was this one, Mummy. I'm not really surprised that the username is Lord Spiderfucker. Very fitting. And that was not the only user who wants to call the thing Mummy. You all need Jesus. So with that out of the way, let's talk about an anomaly that we already featured, I think, last time, and that was the Wendigo. As you can see, they're making progress with this one as well. They're even showing a little bit how it will look from first-person perspective. Looks very nice. I'm happy that they are making some good progress. They will have a lot of anomalies once this will hit early access. I would guess at least 4. That would be really cool. So we have the dog thing, we have the shaitan, we have the Wendigo, and I'm pretty sure they have a few more cooking that hopefully we can reveal very soon. But so far, good job. Looks nice. And for the next chapter, I would say we have a look at a few guns that they wanna implement. And some of them are probably well known by, you know, veterans of the gaming scene. So the first one is gonna be this one right here. We have some pictures of the ASVAL. So we're looking here at an assault rifle that has an integral suppressor. Since they're showing already the ASVAL, we will probably get the VSS Ventoris too. So the ASVAL is basically labeled as an assault rifle, and the VSS Ventoris is labeled as a sniper rifle because it has a scope. So I don't know what kind of ammo it will use and how it will work in the game, but normally the ASVAL fires the 9x39mm SP6 cartridge, and it's firing those at subsonic speed, so getting the most out of its suppressor, making that thing actually quiet. And by the looks of the screenshots, I think we're using here some 20-round mags. Next up, let's check out the knife when it has to be close and personal. We have some very sharp motions here. I mean, duh, it's a knife. Apparently, you can also do some combo attacks. So we will have thrust attacks and slashing attacks. And I also like the sheathing animation of the knife. Cute little detail there. Let's have a look at some sneak peeks from the knife in-game. While it does look good, I really hope that I will never run out of bullets, and I never ever have to knife an anomaly. because that will most likely end in a disaster. Next, another video game classic, the MP5. Loving the inspect animations, also having a good look at the stock there. Reload animation, pretty sexy, with the little slap down at the end there. Sound is pretty decent as well, love it. Nice mag check there. That thing is empty, so we're gonna put another one in there, which, funny enough, is empty too. And it still fires. It fire seems to be pretty accurate, with quite some recoil though. And a good old silenced shots. No glow on the barrel though. That's something that they might add later though. Let's have a look at a few more reload animations. So far, from all the animations that I saw, they look very clean. And they will have these panic reloads that we might be able to counter even with some meds that we will talk in a little bit. Okay, but there's a couple more guns, so let's check them out. Next up, let's have a look at the SG553. Now, this is a Swiss rifle, because SG stands for Sig Sauer. And it looks crazy accurate compared to the real-life version, especially when you check out the stock. And I think you can go pretty crazy when it comes to customization for that one. Talking about optics, grips, front attachments. Let's see how many they will add. They also showed the tactical reload already for the SG553. Let's just ignore the floating bullet there. Not too bad. And next I would like to check out the SKS with you guys. It's a bit bright, but this is just for the animations. And that looks smooth and clean. I can see the SKS being a nice early game weapon with a bit of a punch. And at the end from this chapter, I would like to show you the kind of crosshairs you can have for your optics. Now, I assume this now, not every optic will have every crosshair, naturally. If I'm not mistaken, I think some of them are even community votes, and they do these surveys in their Discord. They do a couple regularly, so in case you want to participate, I'm gonna drop a link to their Discord in the pinned comment or in the description, in one of them, but you will find it. So yeah, the arsenal of Beautiful Light is getting bigger and bigger. Let's see when we can finally shoot these guns ourselves in a playtest that they will hopefully do soon. Okay, let's jump to the next chapter. Next, let's talk a little bit about some items, and they will add some healing items to the game. Naturally, obviously, let's have a look at some of them that they recently added. So this is what they shared in the Discord recently. I would say on the left we have an injector and then some EpiPens and some models for some pills. Now let me show this real quick to you guys because, yeah, they have already a little bit more than just that. We have the Radlock 5, so I guess those are tablets against radiation. And we have the epinephrine injector and the amphetamine injector. There's a spelling mistake, actually. Naturally, as a good content creator that I am, I reached out to them and yeah, never mind. It's already fixed. Now, the question is, what will they actually do? Because, yeah, sure, I mean, the Radlock against radiation, maybe to protect you or to get rid of it when you get some radiation poisoning. I get that one. But the epi is something that you normally use when you have an anaphylactic shock, right? So this is when you have allergies. So maybe this will do something else. Maybe it has something to do with adrenaline. So it removes debuffs. That would be something that could help. For example, when the anomalies are close to you, your hands will shake. You will have a tremor effect. It will make reloading a little bit more difficult. So maybe you use those. They might also relabel them in the future. That's not the biggest act, I would assume. And then you're basically not afraid anymore. Or you can act faster, or you can sprint faster. Maybe it's a buff system. A lot that they can do with that. I'm just happy that they also have already some animations for these items. Like, for example, this one. And this syringe, I think this is for healing a teammate. I don't know if this is like a way to revive or if it's just, you know, heal your teammate animation. But I'm happy that we have those. Remember the early days of Escape from Tarkov where you had no animations for healing items? And nowadays when a game releases and there are no animations for healing items, your game is clearly trash. So I'm happy that they're preparing a proper early access here, at least from the looks of it. And then we have one more item that they shared, and they reworked the laptop. That's the one that you need to print the keycards to access the artifact bunker. And maybe these keycards will have different uses in the future, and maybe the laptop will be good for something else too. They actually have a lot of options that they can do here. Okay, we have a few more chapters, so the next one will be skins, and I will basically make a little slideshow here because, yeah, you have to check them out for yourself. Skins are important nowadays to keep the games alive, to have constant funding, to get something fresh for the game. It's very important, though, that they fit the game and they do not break immersion. So I would say, let's check out if they did a good job. Yeah, I would say they did a good job with that. No pink ponies, so I'm super happy. They also added legs. Yeah, I know this might sound weird, but just last couple days I played Doom, the Dark Ages. And that thing costs 80 euros. And when you look down, you don't see legs. So, not a deal breaker, but just saying, looking down and seeing actual legs, in my opinion, helps for the immersion, especially in the first-person games, because you're not just a floating torso, so I'm happy that they were able to add that. They also shared a few images from rendered skin, so we just go quickly through those. I think they look amazing, they look fantastic. The question is it really that important when they have, you know, gloves and tactical stuff on them? You will most of the time not see that anyway. But yeah, that's it with skins. And now I would like to show you something that will be pretty dangerous in the future game. So yeah, let's talk about the Discharge sequence. So every now and then you have this event on the map that is pretty epic. And believe me, you want to find shelter before that hits. Because, well, you know what? Check it out for yourself. Yeah, you probably don't want to be stuck in that one when it hits. I don't know what exactly will happen in case you don't have shelter. I assume you die. Or heavy radiation poisoning, or I don't know, damage over time, and there's still a little bit of a... You have a couple seconds to reach shelter or something like that. Also, what happens when you play as a monster, as an anomaly, and the discharge hits? Will that kill you as a monster, or do you have to find shelter too? Questions over questions. I hope that that thing will be in the next playtest. Whenever that will be. I don't know that. Next chapter is lighting, and we will go through a few screenshots now. And you know what? I like how it looks. It might be a little bit too bright. I think they do this on purpose, though, so it's easier to see people, because when you have this washed out gray and gray filter over the game, sometimes you don't see enemies properly anymore, and then it can be really, really annoying. Okay, so that's it with the lighting. I would like to share a few screenshots with you where we check out some military base entrance reworks. So we are now in the map section of this video. And yeah, I mean, those are screenshots. I played this already. I mean, I showed you that too. And I streamed that too, because, which I think is kind of neat, that they have no NDA and nothing. So everything is super transparent from their development. But yeah. We need to fight there, though. I also like that we have now a burning tank there that was not there before in the previous playtests. Game looks fantastic. The question is, of course, I can see their FPS over 100, but this is, of course, a dev environment with most likely just a single dude on the server. We can see in the background an anomaly with a floating truck there. Okay, okay. I like it. So you can see a bit how they're reworking the maps. This is something that happens, though, in every game, be it Tarkov, Hunt Showdown, it doesn't really matter. Maps get reworked constantly because you realize, hey, maybe we need a little bit of a tweak over here, maybe we need an entrance over there, maybe this is too open and we need more cover. At the end of the day, the map needs to be playable. And then we have two more screenshots with a top-down perspective. Oh, yes. And I have to say they added quite a few trees here. I think that was way more open, so you can see, I'm going to show you this with a red arrow. The bunker entrance, I think, is down there. There are multiple entrances, though, and the big wall also has a few holes, so there are multiple entry spots into the compound. Nice, another angle, so the entry is over here, and I can't wait to hunt there as the anomaly. Cool, sweet. I'm happy with this one. I would say let's talk a little bit about ray tracing. So again, I'm gonna show you a few screenshots. Yes, I know, you're getting a little bit tired of that, but hey, it's better than nothing. And here at the end, I have a comparison between software ray tracing and hardware ray tracing. Cool. Okay, then we have two more chapters. Before we go to those, though, it would be very kind. Keep in mind, YouTuber begging for attention. I know, it's part of the job, though. If you enjoy the updates about Beautiful Light that we do regularly, a little like would be appreciated. We also help out the dev team, because getting Beautiful Light videos out there raises attention for the game as well. So you're not just helping out me, you're also helping the dev team. Sweet. Okay, and then the next one will be the... Oh, yes, they actually have a tutorial map. This is something that is important, in my opinion, for video games, especially for the more hardcore ones, that you have a proper onboarding. So your game should be hardcore, and there's absolutely no issue with being hardcore, but just being hard for the sake of being, you know, when people die to something and they don't understand why, or they don't understand how everything works, that just doesn't feel good, right? So you need to have proper onboarding. You have to explain the basics, how everything works, and then you can let them run into the meat grinder. Yeah, they will probably still feel bad, but what you gonna do? So you have a little lobby, you also have the locker. In the locker you can probably configure your loadouts, at least that's what I assume. And then you have a shooting range where you can test the guns. I hope that you do not consume ammo and, you know, I don't even know if there's gonna be durability on your guns, that you're not losing any durability while being in the shooting range trying out your gun. And they also have a little shoot house where you can practice your breaching skills. I wonder if you can play here as a team or only solo. And maybe you can even race against the clock. Honestly, I'm just happy that they have something so people can practice their guns and check them out before they get tossed into the map and then like, see ya, have fun, hope you die. That always feels bad when you can't properly get a feeling for the guns and you just get stomped then and you feel bad. And we don't want that. Okay, and then we have one more screenshot right here, because I know a lot of people are asking about a snow map for Hunt Showdown, and even Tarkov added some snow. So why not Beautiful Light? I think it looks great. And the last chapter will be user interface. And yes, user interface. The last year really taught me this is something that you'd have to do properly, because everybody takes a good user interface for granted. So whenever you have a really good user interface, you're just like, oh yeah, this is nice, right? You don't praise a game for their amazing user interface, but the moment the user interface is bad, everybody complains like crazy. Rightfully so. So let's check out the user interface for Beautiful Light. And we don't see much yet, but we have already a user interface for your inventory. This looks very basic, and this might sound a little bit mean now, but it's a good start. Sometimes it's even better to keep stuff simple, so it's easier to use. Especially in games where there will be a lot of pressure on you. Because hardcore extraction shooters, when it comes to the PvP, they can be very stressful. So having a user interface for your inventory that is simple and fast to use might be the way to go. And then we have one more screenshot, and that is for map selection. And I like that you can get a little bit more info from this. So I can see at the bottom a duo queue, a trio queue. You can fill a squad or you just play it alone. There's also a map button, so maybe you can open the map and check it out before you jump into it. And some maps are locked, so I don't know if there will be timely restrictions, because when you have a lot of maps, and maybe during early access they will not have a lot of players, you're diluting your player base. So maybe you want to have 2 out of 6 maps available, and then you rotate them each week, so you can guarantee that there will always be enough people to play against. Another thing that I like is that apparently the game takes place all over the world. So there are no restrictions when it comes to map style. I see one dot in Egypt, so maybe we get a desert map. I see one in Brazil, so maybe we get a jungle. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that this is 100% what we will get, because the screenshots do not show this at all. But the future of the game has some wiggle room when it comes to maps that they want to create, which I personally think is pretty effing cool. Sweet, and that's it with today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't bore you too much. I hope that, lots of hopes here, am I right, that we will have a playtest again very soon, because it's been a while. I know they do some early bird playtests every now and then with people from the Discord, so no, you don't have to be a content creator to get a chance to play the game. But hey, I hope there's gonna be another event style for playtest. That would be cool, because I can't wait to play the Anomaly. Yes, I say this every time, I don't care. This is the big thrill of Beautiful Light for me. You have this PvPvE extraction style game. In almost all of them, PvP is the important part of it, and very often you have stalemates. This is just the nature of the extraction game. Being opportunistic, be it in Hunt Showdown, Escape from Tarkov, be it Arc Raiders, be it Marauders, The Cycle, it doesn't matter. Being opportunistic, waiting a little bit, and then striking is a valid tactic, and it's very effective. But it might be a little bit difficult to wait somewhere when you're getting hunted by an anomaly, also revealing your position, because you will most likely have to shoot that thing and not knife it. Yeah, lots of options there, lots of playstyles, love it. The only thing that I don't love is December 2026. As always, let me know in the comment section what you think about Beautiful Light. I'm looking forward to read that. And as always, a big shout out to my patrons. Thank you very much that you guys supporting me over on Patreon. It is, as always, much appreciated. You guys are awesome. You're just helping out a lot. Thank you for watching. I like this. The Beautiful Light playlist is growing. Every couple of weeks or months we have an update. And I would say we keep this going. I see you in the next one. Until then, have a good day and bye-bye.